Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Everything should be working. Yeah, I can see it on my screen there. Oh, you know what? I did forget to plug something else in. There's always something I'm forgetting. Let me get this on. All right, now you guys should be able to hear me. Hit turn the microphone off when I plugged in my monitor. Although, once again, unless I go into my app on my phone, I can't actually tell if there's anybody in the room or not. So let's do that, because knowing you're talking to somebody is a... Whoa, shoot, really? Knowing you're talking to somebody is a huge boost to the personability thing level. I'm having mic issues at the moment, trying to get this microphone holder just right. Alrighty. See, yeah, it says there's a couple of people watching. How you doing, 40 people? Hello, Steve. For some reason, my chat viewer is not showing up. And my mouse is not working either. Checking to see why my trying to see why the chat on the side of my screen is not pulling up properly real quick. It's supposed to be automatic and show up, and it's not showing anything. Oh, I see why it does this. Damn it. It keeps putting it into my other channel that I never use, and I don't understand it, and now it makes me have to go back and authorize it, and it is really, really stupid. And it's still there. Horribly bad. I need to find out how to remove that from my channel. I gotta like remove the other channel, because there you guys are. It'll at least show the last few. To go back farther, I'll just have to put it on my phone like I did just there. So we got 3 people in the room at the moment. Appreciate you 3 people being here. The view is about to change. I'm going to plug in the water right now. Whoops. Didn't mean to bump it with my knee, though. Get the water. Thank you for letting me know that the sound had shut itself off. It does that anytime the cameras get messed with, so I should have pretty much known that. Resort Dog says $5. We'll see. We'll see if it's worth $5. Tell you what, I remember pulling this one out of the ground. I thought it was going to be worth a lot more than $5 when I pulled it out of the ground. And then this was in a batch that I threw inside of a tumbler and regretted it after I threw it inside of the tumbler. Like all the pieces that had any sort of color on top, the color was all gone. Today was one of those fiasco days for me. I went down to try and pay some court costs, court fines, some fees and garbage like that. Place was closed. It's like a 7-mile bike ride for me, and the place was closed. Yeah, we're gonna find out if there are more layers. There might not be. But I've had stones with way less potential looking than this end up having great stuff in them before. Although it's getting to be a little bit hard to grind on. How you doing, Rouse boys? Oh yeah, there's definitely some color in there. Just caught it on the edge right there. I know there's some bright green in there. There you go. Definitely see it coming through right there too. And right there. Might be two separate stones depending on how it goes though. I mean, this could end up being a couple of different stones by looking at the bottom of it, but it definitely has color in it. I wonder what put down on this edge. I had really wanted to have my other camera up and going so I could get close-up shots better. I mean, I could have used it as a face cam too every now and then, but it was really so I could get better close-up shots because this GoPro does not do good with the close-up shots at all. And that is a 600 I'm putting on, but it's a brand new 600, so it's relatively aggressive. But I keep starting to see little bubbles of green poking out here and there. Like right in there. I can see it at the depths. I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not. And I don't want to go through anything. I just want to expose as many spots of color as I can. That way whoever carves it can, you know, hopefully expose the best gemstone possible. Oopsie. Get rid of that spot I just caught that edge on, hopefully. Getting exciting. The center's going to pop up with some nice color too. I might start having to remember to dump my buckets every night. I think I just had a mosquito fly out of one. Really great looking piece of agate regardless of the fire in it, but it definitely does have gem color. Oh, see? There is a little bit of gem color right there, and I started to go through the top of it. No, I don't want to go through any more. But that's only the first layer, too. Yeah, for the way this thing goes up and down, it's definitely going to need carving properly. Like, it's not a good piece to be windowing on this stone. And I can see little bits of green bubble right here. I can see a small green bubble that I already went through, and I can just see like the hole that's there, and then the edges of the bubble goes down. And then over here, I can see green bubbles coming out, and I can see the outline of them underneath the orange right there too. Ooh. I don't know how it started to grab that. Can you see those now? I can see 3 of them. So it's definitely got some like olive green metallics in it for sure. Oh, what am I doing? That was the wrong one. Greetings, Christy York. The no-see-ums are not out here yet. Yeah, they can be pretty bad out there for sure. This thing is so odd shaped. I don't know, maybe I'll just go on this edge a little bit and expose some more over there, because I've got green popping out in so many spots that if you looked at this to purchase it personally, so maybe if I give it a close-up on the other camera here in a little bit, it'll show better than it does on this GoPro. Now, this area of Florida, man, you know, we have some odd weather, especially right now. It's going from like nice and 70s down to like 40s and cold, you know, over one day's time. It's a cool looking piece of agate. I keep thinking for the way it looks, you could just actually cab the thing up and it would look pretty righteous. A little bit of color coming through it, although I could just feel the edges. I was just scratching it. Oh yeah, California's in a drought. I think I'd seen something about that. Such a cool piece of agate, man. I tell you what. Like, looking for fire, though, some of the stuff you go through is so cool, I almost hate to go through it. Because, I mean, if that was a piece of carnelian or something, I mean, look at the colors in that damn thing. You got yellow and orange and brown and white and the mix of all of those. And then you got fire agate green popping out underneath of them here and over here. And I think there's going to be more right there because it's awfully brown. And I can even see a little bit of fire on the back of it. Yeah, and then the green's starting to poke out on the face too, and now I think I should stop. I see it poking through right there, and I can see it poking through right there, and I want to leave that sort of stuff for the other guys, whoever cuts it. So I'm gonna put that one on the side. For me, this is windowed. Like, it's not startlingly, oh my God, look at all the colors right on top. But there's not, the colors aren't gone yet either, you know, and that's sort of a big deal. And once again, it's a great piece of looking. It's a great looking piece of agate. What do you mean UV it first, Resort Dog? Why would I want to UV it first? What would putting it under ultraviolet light help me? Oh gosh, that was bad, cutting into it with the edge. There would have been color there to have big old scratches through it. I can sort of see through right there. I think the color, yeah, I can see color on this edge. Color's over here. I don't think there's much color in that side right there. I've been wrong before. A lot, as a matter of fact. Talking about in general. Yeah, we'll go over here, and this edge is gonna light up. So far on this edge, I'm getting like micro pin fire and a light green glow. I'm not going to keep the best glowers right now. I am going to sell the best glowers. The fire agate I sell is going towards bills and getting my license back. And like oh, there's definitely some color right there. See, can you guys see that green reflecting right there at all? Might have the wrong angle on it. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, license. So $2,000 to get the license back. That needs to be my first order of business, because getting the license back means that I could get the bus moving and do what I want in that, and not have to be reliant on somebody else to drive me or to be married to, or you know, any of that stuff. Although, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure I could get a company to give me insurance on the bus right now, so that's still in her name anyways, and probably would be for the first little while. But having it usable and on the road and able to go out and do digs and stuff like that, now we're talking, compared to living out of a frickin' Ford Taurus. Oops. Well, just got a message from somebody on my phone I should probably look at. Cool. So the catalytic converter I've been sitting on for a minute. You see that green inside the bubble? Is it real shadowy? On my screen to you guys, that's real shadowy. On my screen to me, it's, you know, fairly bright. I can see that pretty good. I can see the green right there pretty good. So there's definitely a stone over here. I'm not even sure about there, but there's definitely a stone on this side where this agate meets that agate. I gotta remember not to hold my neck at odd angles too. I've been dealing with massive neck pain from 2 days ago's carving video because I was holding my neck at an odd angle to see around all the equipment, and I've learned that is a huge no-no and not to do that to myself anymore. Oh man. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter too much. I don't really have anything showing on that side. I could just take it in the other room, put it on the saw and cut it, but then I'd be in there for 5 minutes off camera. Problem with pieces that are actually this large is it's really difficult to window them very well without cutting through color unless you just window little spots here and there like this. Like I've got a nice little window here. You can see a nice window there. I got good green right here, good green right here. You can see it in a line going there and right there. So you definitely see a stone forming in this section. But if I just keep going to try and expose as much as I can, then what ends up happening is by the time it's carved, you got a potential to not have any. And yet, when I look at the side of it, there's lots of potential for it to have color bars in there. So, yeah. I always hesitate to go through the color. Still got 3 of you in the room according to my phone, so thanks for being here, 3 people. It is Good Friday. Ooh, that screams, doesn't it? A hard piece of agate. I know it's got some color in it too. Piece of agate makes me wish I had some earplugs in. Screams like somebody's trying to kill it because it's so hard. Because it wants to be a gangsta. Get it? It's so hard. Ooh, boy. That's some hard agate right there, I tell you what. You know, maybe I should just put a master bundle together of like a bunch of the best that I have left and some cut stones or something like that, just to get it all sold to one person. That then I can go ahead and start putting the time and energy into getting that drivability certificate. Did you say something? Starting to go through something that's not white right there. Might be time to move on to the 325 instead of, or the 280 instead of the 80. Oh yeah, Donna. Stainless trails, I have no idea off of the top of my head. I think their rock. I've heard that their rock shop is open, but their digs are closed for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. I've heard myself blamed for that. Ooh. I've heard myself blamed for that, and then at the same time, I've heard other people tell me there was a real reason. And but I've heard they're not allowing digging anymore at this point. Felix, what are you doing? God, you're such a pain. Oh yeah, you super interested, kitty. I wonder what I can do about that thing moving and causing a constant vibration sound. Yeah, if you're talking about me, I did do a Richardson's video a few years ago, and it caused me some issues. Apparently, they were telling people that I got, or I heard they were telling people that I got them shut down, which is just not realistic at all. Oh, there it is. There they are. Oh, and you guys are turned the wrong way? Yep, there's definitely some layers in this. I'm going through a couple of layers on top, and then there's another more metallic layer underneath. Problem with the wheels, the amount of pressure you can put on them, you can blow right through colors. Yeah, that's very accurate, everything you're saying there, Stainless Trails. I don't know what you mean, Rouse Boys. I don't get the statement. Oh, Resort Dog says they could not get enough employees, I heard. Yeah, his information is probably good because that area, they're friends with one of the owners of the big mines out there. What's the name of it? It's funny, I remember the owner's first name and I don't want to say it, but I'm having a problem remembering the name of the mine. But anyways, yeah, I would think that if Resort Dog has heard that, it's probably from a fairly realistic source compared to most of the rest of the world that hears that sort of stuff. Hey, Mark. Mark, you're 2 miles from Richardson's Ranch? You heard that when you was digging amethyst sage with them last year. They had a club in that weekend. Oh, that makes sense then. You heard it from the club. Well, this agate's definitely starting to show. See peeking underneath there. Color showing over here. You're in Newburgh, Oregon, Rouse Boys. Oh, I believe I see a little bit of a crackle pattern starting right there, too. Little saginite blooms right there. Definitely a cool piece of fire agate. I'm honestly ready to stop on it again already because I'm scared I'm going to ruin something. Hey, Cherie, how you doing? And you know, when the stuff looks like this, I completely see why people just want to cab it. You're like, cab it, I'll have some fire in it. It's still beautiful looking stone. Like, it's easy. Really get all those color bars down there, though. There's more in this one. It's already peaking so much, I'm fine just setting it on the side to take some close-ups of it and sell it like that, but especially since one of my biggest buyers is looking at making another purchase, so I should very possibly just make them to where they're windowed just enough and then put a whole bunch of them together and let him make a large purchase. Or not, put a whole bunch of different small lots out there. Oh, okay, it's somebody's car again. Thought I might have somebody banging on the door. Not what it was at all. These wheels will be broken in soon enough. I'll be able to put some of my opals on them. Yep, this dude's car is just beating it down the neighborhood. Yeah, I'm doing okay, Cherie. Surviving. I'm getting to where I'm starting to get scared to go any deeper with that wheel for fear I'm going to poke through some fire because I'm so close to where I can see the fire agate bubbles, like right there on the edge. There it is. I'm through. I got to stop now. Definitely some teal, blue-green pinfire fire agate popping out right out of that white. You guys might not be able to see it. I'll do some wet close-ups though. Cab King is this rock polishing machine, cabochon machine. It's about $1,400 new. Used, depending on the condition, you're still looking at 1,200, 1,000. Lapidary equipment has an amazing resale value compared to almost anything else on the planet. This was one of those that went in there that had some color on top. You can see that. You see that dragon skin? But they got polished a little bit. There's lots of layers looking like in there. This is showing everywhere. It's probably one that I shouldn't put on here. I should probably sell it as is. All the places got fire poking out. Put that one on the side. That goes to show you too, just because you see some color on the side doesn't mean it's going to be a whole bunch on the top. Got that little bit peeking through right there, but then over here on the rest of the side, there's nothing there. Like there's a little bit over here, but that's going to be gone rather fast, it looks like. Maybe I have the direction off a little bit, but looking at those, might go like that, so there might just be the gemstone on the tip. Ends up that wasn't a bad summation. Definitely showing little bits of fire from that angle. And it could be carved down that way some. This one's already been windowed. This is a piece of Slaughter Mountain from back in the day. This one has been windowed and then tumbled, and you can see a light blue and a light green and a nice sized chunk of the stone. Definitely got little bits of bronze in there and then layers. Yeah, this is a horrible one to try and put on the wheels. Go ahead and touch it on the bottom and see if I can. Well, not on that top section at least. That piece appears to mainly be copper. Oh, I gotta quit craning my neck. Who's stuck inside with COVID? Not me. I have got to start eating a lot more before I start live streams. It sucks to be in the middle of a live stream and then start thinking about how hungry I am. Lots of copper lines in this one. It's not giving me any other colors yet, though. Wait. I might see green starting to poke through. Not gonna lie, I am not a fan of windowing fire agate. I like carving a stone more than I like windowing stones. I'm like every other carver. I want to grab the stones that have like a bunch of bright color on top and just go for them like they are in the rough. Yes, sir. It's fire agate in general all the way around is a lot of work, to tell you the truth. probably one of the main reasons it's such an undervalued stone for what people typically want to pay for a fully finished, nice-looking stone. That stone has a lot of work into it compared to a lot of other stones that people are willing to pay typically more for. Yeah, I'm done messing with that piece. But if I had access to the mine and the tools and the money like I'd like to mine it properly, then I would do it the way that my buddy John at Slaughter Mountain does it. His way is absolutely the best. You can definitely see the big old bronze flashing back right there, no problem. How much more of this sedimentary we got to go through here? Jeez. Sedimentary creates so much mess. Yeah, I don't know about Florida. These people don't really. I'm like one of the only person that walks around with a mask ever since it's not mandatory anymore. But I don't trust the vaccines either yet. Like, I'm not a big truster of the vaccines to where I'm wanting to run out and get it. And shit, all the side effects they got from the stuff they're always trying to sell you on TV is bad enough. And now this thing they're talking about with it really aggravates me is what they're saying about 6 months. Vaccine's only good for 6 months. Like, that's not something I want to hear. I'm sure corporate America loves hearing that, but you know, the people that are going to invest in Johnson & Johnson and whatever. This one is trying to say it's like copper colored from top to bottom. It just might be too. Oh, there's a green line. I definitely see a green line right there. I want this back to just pop out with a nice color bar. That way you know it's in the front. And I can see a little hint of that green on that one line, but I don't even want to mess with the top. Got so many little grooves in it. Yeah, that's what they're talking with, that these shots are only supposed to be effective for 6 months. Like that one got me going a little bit. So has anybody answered my questions at the top of the screen? Yeah, it's not that I'm worried about the immediate effects, because we'd already know those. I'm more worried about like the 10-year effects. I mean, I'm a firm believer that like there's a lot of stars that end up having like brain aneurysms and end up in like horrible situations, like Richard Pryor, with the type of brain issues that they have, and medical issues that strictly surround like the brain area and activity and stuff like that. And I think it's my personal belief that some of that has to do with the type of cocaine they were doing back in the day and the type of drugs they imbibed on and stuff like that. So, it's just we don't know, and even the stuff they tell us, since it's corporate America, we don't know. And I'm gonna quit playing with the back of this. This thing seems like it just wants to be layers and layers of copper colors, but there is a fair bit of layers in there. I could keep trying to cut out the top, see if I can niche something else. Do just one little edge. Oh, look like a little. Yep. Got a little fire crackle pattern. It's gonna pop out of there, and who knows what's under that. Are you guys seeing the crackle pattern? I'm not sure if you guys can make out that crackle pattern or not. I'll put that over there. Oh, that's too small. This has got colors already poking out of the back. And I don't even want to cut the clear on that. It's got color in it. I'm putting it on the side. Rouse boys, what bus? I'm out of the loop. Aren't you in Florida? Yes, I am in Florida. Yes, I do own a 40-foot school bus that has been renovated into an RV that needs to be redone. But the only thing really, let me rephrase that. It needs some engine work, but it starts and runs fine. It has power loss issues on hills, and getting up to speed is slow. Besides that, I have some wires that are fried for the turn signals that I need to replace, but I could basically unload it and it would be, ready to go on a road trip as good as any big van. Has bunk beds in it and a kitchen area. And when I say should I crowdfund the bus, what I mean by crowdfund the bus is should I crowdfund getting the bus like up to spec, getting it to where it has the engine work done on it and the interior is pulled out and insulated properly, and an interior put in there that would make it to where you could have some air conditioning going in some hot days and it's not killing you. This one's got so many fractures through this back and it makes me scared for the rest of it. I'm gonna spend a bunch of time on it, and I can already see color in it though. I want to put that one on a saw. Rouse Boy says, stop by. I'm a mechanic. Yes. You're in Oregon. I'm in Florida. Yes, it is a diesel. It's an 8.3 liter Cummins turbo diesel, 1992, I believe the engine is. I'm pretty sure that at one point I realized that the turbo was burning up. So I pulled the turbo and I took it to a turbo shop and they rebuilt the turbo and I put it back on, and it seemed like it was better a little bit, but it really didn't fix the overall issue. And I realized after doing some reading that even though I had the turbo repaired, that if the turbo is not seating properly on the manifold, that it is not going to get a proper seal and it's not going to get a vacuum lock, and it's going to make it to where the turbo has to do a bunch of extra work. And I think that's what's going on. I think that the turbo's been having to do a bunch of extra work and is not getting the proper air. Anytime the bus gets up to like 70 miles an hour on like open flat road, it's screaming. I mean, it's like it has a governor, so it can't do more than 70. But when it has that fresh air pumping into the engine, especially if we leave the front section down in the front of it, boy, it has so much more power than 70 miles an hour. It really does. You can tell it has more to give you, even though it can't because it's governed. Yet getting up to 55 is very, very slow going, man. I mean, it is slow going. And hitting a hill, you hit a hill, it loses major power. Has a new transmission, or I shouldn't say new, the transmission was rebuilt. We had the transmission rebuilt for like $3,000. It had an issue with the main seal in the transmission. It was spewing fluid everywhere. It's a bulletproof engine. It really is. That 8.3 liter Cummins turbo diesel is a beast. Head is swamped with carbon. When you say the head on a diesel engine, I'll have to look that up or something. The head is swamped with carbon. Honestly, man, I'm positive it doesn't have a proper vacuum seal. I'm positive that's one of the things, and I'm pretty sure that the engine has a few hundred miles on it, probably at least 200,000 miles on it, and I don't think it's had a proper. I didn't realize the camera wasn't in the right place. I'm pretty sure it hasn't had a proper tune-up, fine-tuning in a while on that engine. Like, But getting mechanics to look at that diesel engine when we first got it, they would immediately, it was a boat. Oh yeah, you know, it's going to be $1,000, you know, do anything, $1,000. Anytime anybody saw it, they're like $1,000. It's like fucking, you can't have a fucking lug nut changed on that goddamn thing by somebody else for less than $1,000. This piece, I don't even know why I have this one on here. It's sort of a work of art. I really shouldn't have it on here. And I can see fire agate coming through. But I remember when I pulled this thing out of the ground, and there's nothing saying it's going to be fantastic, but it's not what I should have on here. This is something I should have on here. Oh, what's that? You want to come spend a week hanging out in Florida, sleeping on my air mattress, fixing my bus engine? Sure, no problem, buddy. I will totally hold tools for you while you explain what's wrong, so maybe I can fix it after you've taught me what the hell I'm doing. Nobody's pumping the good YouTube videos about this shit right here, not that diesel engine shit. Or at least they didn't used to when I was first messing with it. I see schooly videos all the damn time now. Oh, I definitely see a little bit on the edge right there now. Now here's where the problem starts to come in for me sometimes, is that, see the color transition in that agate? Like, you see how cool the wispiness is and the, like, I mean, look at that. So I've sometimes see people sell cabs of agate that looks like this for more than I see people sell the fire agate gemstone that comes out of this for. I literally see that. I don't understand why. Yeah, I do. I do understand why. Ooh, scared I might have gone too far there. Right there. I don't really think I did, though. I'll keep on surviving then, Shuri. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have PayPal, so other ways is easier. I don't see your agates here. Are you talking about you don't see my agates on in Etsy? Yeah, the Etsy store is sort of minimal right now. I really need to fill it up, which is sort of partially what this is. I'm going to put some agates in there. I already had one of my viewers asking about grub stakes. Really for Tucson, I need a large patron. And the question about the crowdfunding was should I do like GoFundMe style crowdfunding for the bus to get the bus up and going, or should I do a Patreon style crowdfunding? Although I totally turned my back on them when they started policing people outside of their platform. I still don't believe in that at all. Oh, you live in Australia, Shuri. Oh, that is cool. That's Saginite that it's reflecting off its white Saginite. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a crack. Might just be a crack. There is some cool stuff going on in this piece of frickin' agate, though, man. There we go. I'm just going to get that orange bubble to pop out right there, and then I'm going to leave this one alone because it's so stinking cool. Look at that. That is bright red, actually. That's not orange. That does not look orange anymore. It looks super red. Ooh, look at that color. That makes you want to burn through all that pretty-ass agate. Can y'all see that? Yeah, you're not going to see fire agate there, Cherie. I should have answered that already. Australia that we know of doesn't have fire agate, or it hasn't been discovered yet. Fire agate is located in America and northern Mexico. So the Americas basically is where fire agate has been found so far. Is that bright red coming through for you guys? Like it's coming through for me. Can you guys see that super reflective bright red? See, if I just leave this up, contact you when I move the bus, you'll pitch in. Appreciate that, homie. Right now it's not about moving the bus, it's about getting the bus ready to be moved. And in my mind, I don't just want to like here's the thing, right? If I were to like just quickly get the the windshield or the windshield wipers. If I were to just get the electronics up front working and the turn signals working real quick again, it would be basically ready to go for a trip that doesn't have to do a lot of serious uphill things. But for me to be able to take it on the logging roads like it used to go on when I first got it, and it did, and this problem hadn't progressively gotten as worse or as bad as it is now, it would be able to go up roads like the road that gets up to the fire agate mine. When that road is a hellacious road, that final road going up to the mine is insane. Yet this bus should be able to eat that hill up with the dualies in the back as long as the engine's running properly. So in my mind, if I were to do the engine and get the interior of the bus done, then that makes it to where like digging with viewers is not just a thing we can do. It's an easy thing we can do. It's a thing we can pick viewers up in certain instances, at the point where the channel doesn't need to be funded by the people viewing it because the commercial funds it, or the commercial entities that want to be on the show or whatever fund it. At that point, that sort of stuff becomes super easy to spend time and pick up people that necessarily wouldn't be able to make it to the digs otherwise. And some of my viewers have been to dig with me at like the first group meeting that we had and stuff like that. I'm serious about that stuff. Like, it's not just talk for me. I don't even know what a frickin' turbo wastegate is. What I need to do is make some videos of this stuff so then you guys can give me all kinds of advice. Ooh, did I get him? Oh yeah, I got that mosquito. Yay. So this stone is turning out to be a rocker. It's got this great red window poking out right here. And there's some cool color on the edge right here. I'm going to keep going at the top and see if I can get anything else to poke out from this angle. Yeah, the air filter should be good. And the fuel filter, I had changed that right after we had gotten the bus to make sure that that wasn't part of the problems that we were having, wasn't the fuel filter. And I only found one. I mean, I even pulled the thing out of the tank, and I'm pretty sure it's a seals issue, like the engine seals. I'm pretty sure it's a seals issue, and it is a vacuum seal issue with the turbo. I'm pretty sure. Bus is awesome though, man. I love that bus. Nobody in the family wants that bus to go anywhere. The wife wants some money for it, for me to keep it. But that's understandable. She's, put the lion's share of money into it for sure. Whoops. I was thinking actuator electric on the motor. No, there's like almost nothing is electric on the motor. I mean, there's minimal electric. This is a 92 turbo diesel, but when it comes to like circuitry and stuff like that, everything is I forget what those breakers are called, that once they get too hot, they just basically shut down until they cool off. One of the things we liked about the bus is we were always like, hey, if the zombie apocalypse ever happens, or if we have a world war and they drop bombs everywhere and the power grid goes down, and like they drop EMP pulses and most electronics aren't working, this bus has none of those problems. Like there's not a circuitry part inside of that bus. In reality, it's all analog. I don't believe so. When you say, is there a plug on the turbo, I don't know what you mean by a plug. No, there's no electronics that plug into the turbo at all. I spent a lot of time windowing this one stone, but it had so much good stuff start poking out of it here and there. And at the same time, it's so bright that that window right there, that red is so bright down there. I'm scared of going through anything on the top. How much money is the bus needing? My guesstimate on the engine, because it's the type of engine it is, and because every time anybody sees it, they want $1,000. My guesstimate on the engine is about $5,000, and that's to have the engine basically rebuilt and the turbo issue absolutely solved to the point of, you know, buying new turbo and making sure all the hoses are new and stuff like that. And then also, when I say the engine, I'm also including that it probably needs a couple of new air lines on the air brakes. But yeah, on the engine, I'm thinking like $5,000 is like the rebuild price on the engine. That's what I'm thinking about that. No, don't really need to go cutting on this one. Nice little window right there. It might actually pull apart. Oh yeah, this thing is so close to breaking. Woo! That's got a little bit of green on it too. So that's a stone. I'm not sure about how much of a stone is actually in there. This one feels like it might be mainly mud. $8.3 liter. It's an 8.3 liter. I've been able to find that engine for like $5,000. An already rebuilt engine. I've been able to find it online for $5,000. Oh shit! Well, that was a mistake. I windowed right through a layer of green, right on the tip. You see that? Like it's so right there on the top, and you can see that little bit of color right there. Should have touched that. See, there's another one. Great color already poking out. I'm not even going to touch this. I'm just going to leave all that up there because it tells you it's what it's got in there. So what I will do is I will post a bunch of stuff for sale in my store tomorrow, and I will edit a video that has that stuff in it because that's obviously not going to happen tonight because windowing takes way longer than I wanted to give it credit for. That seems to be apparent to me at this moment. But that typically is me. I'm like, don't worry, it'll only take us an hour, and we're there for 8. Blake Law 8.3 1992 wastegate diaphragm. I will not remember to search this, Johnny K. Send me a message to my Facebook or something, buddy. Now that really, really white right there, that's opal. That's like really soft, like 40% water opal. That or it's another mineral that wasn't properly identified to me. Because, I mean, it's so soft, it could be like talc or something. Oh, they've got a bright little swirl of color right there. A little bit of color on top. Oh. Now I see what might be going on here. Yep, that's exactly what I thought. There's not near as much agate going on in that piece as I thought there was. Yeah, screw it. I don't want to fuck with that right now. Yeah, it definitely sounds like good advice. Oh, man. Gotta check myself real quick. Took a little chunk out of my finger when I broke that piece. Just a little chunk. Hopefully the camera doesn't turn off on me when I'm going to move stuff like that right there. Ah, and it fucking did. Fucking stupid camera. Here, I got something anyways. I'll just do this. I really wish they would have included a switch on the machine itself for that pump. Like having to go down there to turn stuff off is dumb as hell. Yeah, so on that note, I broke that little piece apart, and it took a I swear to God. This is how it is with every fucking thing for me. Work with me, god damn it! And of course, it's not wanting to work with me because I am probably doing something wrong. Probably trying to get it to move in a way that's not supposed to. I don't have something locked in properly or some such stuff like that. All right, there, that works. So, anyways, yeah, just a little diamond-sized cut out of my finger right there, and it just does not want to stop bleeding at all. So instead of keep on windowing fire agate and bleeding while it just keeps, I just figured I'd just stop. I'll just stop. I've been going for a little bit. I can start some more later. Right? Yeah, me wrestling with all this shit. That is classic. I'm looking down at this camera instead of looking up there because I got you guys up in the corner now. On the other camera, that I was supposed to have 2 cameras going. That's what the plan was, and of course, like all of my other plans, that's not what ended up happening. But you know, my other cam link, it's done. It's just not going to work properly for me. It is even going to look like it's going to work properly, and then I'm going to go start the live stream, and then it's not going to work properly. So I got to get rid of that. I got a new 4K cam link, which is what you're watching me on right here, and then I have the cheaper 1080p cam link that's laggy. I have that one still too, which that's what I'm going to be going back to. I'm going to have one of them on one thing, which is usually not going to be my face, because the 4K cam link, there's like no lag between me speaking and my voice. Whereas with that other one that runs off a USB 2.0, there's totally lag in between. And I know that you guys on the app, you guys don't need this thing on the screen over here that has everybody's words, but I do. So that way I can, otherwise I need to have that playing on the same computer where I'm recording from, and that just doesn't work when you're live streaming very well at all. So I'm going to open up my phone real quick. I need to go and clean all of this dust off of me and off of everything else, which my shirt's soaking wet, so usually that means I'll just take my shirt off and wipe everything down real quick when I get done doing this. How long did we go? How long's it been going? Still 3 people, huh? Oh, maybe that's because it's on. I hate it that it shows me top chat instead of live chat. I mean, it says 3 people still watching. Well, thank you 3 people for being here. I really appreciate that. We had some colors show up. I got a handful of stones right here. In all honesty, I got a few $100s worth of stones right here. I will post these up tomorrow, and I will post some more stones up tomorrow, and I will put a video. So start checking the store if you're one of my normal buyers. If you are somebody that would like to have me do some purchasing for you out in Tucson, and you want to spend a lot of money in Tucson, and I'll be your private shopper, go ahead and hit me up, because I'll totally do that. That'll give me the opportunity to go to Tucson and make a bunch of videos while I'm out there. Don't think that's going to happen. I really think that most of my energy needs to be starting to be put on making a business plan for a friend of mine that might be willing to help me open a retail store, and also for the other series I have in my mind that I need to get started and off the ground. That's a really good idea, and I need to get focused on that. Yet at the same time, paying the bills and making everything work without worry is the biggest thing in my mind right now, because that's what reselling was doing. And now it's been 4 weeks since I've been reselling, and I got to figure something out. I also got to make a video about that. So thank you for still being here, Cherie. Thank you for still being here, Johnny. And I know Rouse Boys is still over there. Yeah, I can't help it. It doesn't matter what I'm cutting. If I'm going to be cutting, I'm going to be getting soaked. And I should be wearing a mask, but this doesn't spray all up in my face as much as that stuff does. Although the powder is all over me once it's dry. Like, it's all over me. Anyways, I can't believe I cut my finger. I should have known better than that. I do. Every time I break a piece of agate, like, I should say 50% of the time I break a piece of agate like that, I cut myself. So thank you guys for being here. I definitely need to cut the live streams down. I think it's too many live streams a week. Obviously, it drives the viewership down, and it is a Friday night too. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I will post up a video. I love you all for watching. Thank you for being here. We'll talk some more about what I'm going to do with the bus and stuff, because it's obviously not going to happen overnight.